Ed and Granny Annie. I'm sorry. I set it up for 7:30, and then I pushed it back to 7:45 just because of a bunch of this, that, and the other. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for catching play. If you had to go, I totally understand. Your sleep is much more important than this is. Although, not that I'm planning on anything earth shattering, but my goodness, the FBI files from Kiely Rodni's case. Like, WTF, you guys, have your heads been spinning the way mine has been spinning ever since, what was it, like Friday? Let me tell you where to go to get some clarity. Jules of all trades breaks it down. Thank goodness, because I was like rewatching the videos that I watched about it, and I couldn't make heads and tails of anything. I was just like, what the F is this? Why did this just get released? Kiely was in Los Angeles? What? 135 pages redacted. Like, give me a break. CB, hello, hello. Nice to see you here, my dear. So, yeah, have you had a chance to catch the Jewels of all trades breakdown on the Kiely Rodni FBI files? Because she killed it. Like, she hit it out of the park. Simply Smile, hello. My goodness, we have a bunch of us already. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. This is fabulous. So my biggest question is, why is the FBI file being released now? And thank goodness that Jewels of all trade did some digging to verify that it's a legit FBI file. I mean, my first thought was that it was some kind of bogus, weird setup, the same way we got with the fire cam crap. I mean, and I still don't trust it. I mean, I don't trust anything about it. You know me, I'm like Miss Skeptical. So, where shall I start? How are you guys tonight? Thanks so much for coming in. I'll have to go watch. That is odd timing. Yeah, the Jewels of all trades, she did such a great job. So Ara did a live on it a couple nights ago, and I caught some of it, and she took it down. Mr. Mark went over parts of it, and I couldn't make heads and tails of it. The first video I saw on it, I rewatched it, and I didn't think there was any substance in it, really. Let's just say, not my cup of tea. Anyway, hit that thumbs up if you'd be so kind. If this is your cup of tea, make sure you're still subscribed. Turn on your notification bell to ring, and share a video of mine if you like. I'm right there with you being skeptical. Yeah, like, what the F? You guys, it's like 100 pages, but 135 of it are completely redacted, like gone. So it's like 235 pages ish. I mean, my head is spinning, but Jules did a lot to help it stop spinning, and I appreciate that. Has Ninja been breaking it down? I think she did. She did 2 30-minute videos. So I watched those as soon as they came out. It was a couple of days ago. And of course, Ninja did a great job too. So we thank her for that. What do I want to say to begin with? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's just say, for the sake of this conversation right now, and everything that I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to open up a discussion and learn something and be educational. All my videos are made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform. I have to apologize for my skimpy top. It's just so flippin' hot today. It's like Arizona in the middle of summer, but you know, I'm in Ohio. I know Mark was saying it was really hot where he is too, probably for a lot of folks. It's super hot. We're having a heat advisory tomorrow. So, anyway, back to today. Why in the world would they have kept all of this information up until now? And why are they releasing it now? And why did they call it a child abduction, no ransom, and then try to say it was a car accident? I am more skeptical than ever about the whole freaking thing. Like, we got to remember so many stupid things from this case, like that law enforcement was allowing boaters on the water when they were searching for Kiely right there. They didn't want to like interfere with the recreational users of Prosser Lake. Like, they don't have a half a dozen of other lakes that they could go to. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. Sunset Salty Sage, did someone FOIA it? Good question. So it is at the FBI website, and that's what Jules went to that site, and she literally like read the whole thing, you guys. She rocks it in her video. She completely rocks it. I've missed so much. I did get to watch Ara before it went away. Yeah, and I was watching Ara, but I fell asleep, not because she's boring. She's anything but. I was just tired and needed my rest. So I would imagine that Ara did a good job on it too. She always hits it out of the ballpark. So why was law enforcement allowing that? And then why did they have written on the map to like stay out of the blue area? What was that? Like, don't go searching in the blue area. Yes, stay out of the blue area on that map. The blue area where she was last seen and where she was found. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And why the F did that guy Milo call Ryan Upchurch? That guy Milo, sus AF, like SF Investigates, sus AF. So Jules of All Trades has been having some communication with SF Investigates. Why is he still employed by the family? So Milo seems to be a relative of Zanime. I know that myself and other people looked at Facebook histories on both of them and saw photographs of family weddings that they were in together. Remember that? Milo, the weirdo who contacted Upchurch? Wow. It's just more BS than ever, in my opinion. What it does do for me, and hopefully for anybody else that's been questioning if it could have been a car accident, is like wake up and smell the coffee, see the writing on the wall. There's no way this was an effing car accident. We've been saying that for a long time, but there is no way they would have 135 pages redacted if it had just been a little car accident. So my last live was on Friday. Today is Monday, August 26th. It's the evening. It's about just after, it's almost 8 o'clock. So I wanted to address a couple of things from that last video too, because, you know, it was hard for me to see Mrs. G's comment in my chat that she left there and then she never came back. And I tried to appreciate it for what it was. I know that Mrs. G cares so much about Kiely, as do I, and as do all of you, I'm sure. And it is like the grossest, most horrific thing to try to wrap your mind around anybody being violated. But Kiely being violated is just gut-wrenching. And The comment that Mrs. G left was there's no evidence she was trafficked. And I both agree with that and disagree with that. I think that it is realistically a snowball's chance in hell that she wasn't trafficked. That's my opinion. That's based on the circumstances, the evidence that we do have. And a lot of the evidence that we don't have doesn't point to that. So hard. I was like really kind of like stuttering during my video because I respect Mrs. G and I appreciate her very much. And at the same time, it's like it felt like I was being undermined in a sense, but I just tried to take it on a positive note and just use it as constructive criticism and to keep myself tempered and to not go too heavy in a direction without having an abundance of evidence. But I don't think we're ever going to have an abundance of evidence in this case other than things like these weird 100 pages from the FBI. I mean, to me, it's just more BS than ever. And yeah, we can break it down, but to me, it's sort of like breaking down the freaking fire cam. It's just a huge waste of time and a huge distraction. And what are they hiding? We can just go back to the simple facts of 50 FBI agents, Homeland Security, U.S. Marshals, and other. Those types of departments and agents are for a simple car accident. A missing kid from a party does not get that many agents, period. That's just not the way it works. Excellent lingering question. Stay out of the blue area. It was already searched. But why stay out? Like, that's interesting verbiage. Stay out. It's like keep out, right? August 8th, 26, 8, 24, 8, triple. Wait, Sunset Salty Sage, what are you doing with the numbers? Oh, today is the 26th, so August 8th. Oh, I like it. And that's interesting. 8, 8, 8. At 8. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're 1 minute away. Okay. That's wild. Yeah, 8 p.m. here. We have no proof of anything. Bex, I think we have a lot of proof of a cover-up. I do. And I hate to say that I'm suspicious of Kiely's family, but you guys know I'm heavily suspicious of her mother and her stepfather. And I'm kind of newly suspicious of her granddad and maybe even her dad. I mean, they're business partners, and they were out there on the ATV immediately when she was discovered in Prosser Lake. It's kind of weird to have a father hanging out with the ex-husband. I mean, not to judge, but normally in divorces, family sticks with family. But Daniel Rodni and David Robertson were business partners before the divorce and business partners ever since. So I'm getting more and more skeptical about their businesses. I think that they have a trucking business. I think that they even have a refrigerator truck business. I mean, it's been a long time since I've researched it, but I'm pretty sure. I remember looking up Kings Beach and maybe like a storage area, maybe like a like for car storage or trailer storage, or I know they did a lot of snow removal and stuff like that in the wintertime. They were sort of jacks of all trades. Like it looked like a pretty thriving business. I think I looked at it, which was probably a year and a half ago. Granny says federal Fed funds, Fed times zero pictures of Fed searching. So what I had said in my video on Friday, and I had only thought of it the night before, I think, and I was able to kind of let it percolate over the weekend. I am very suspicious of the 25 years of litigation with Daniel Rodni and the federal government over water rights that Scami's parents have been representing the federal government in that litigation. All of a sudden it dawned on me, I think it was Thursday, like, what if the agitation was intentional to perpetuate the employment of Scami's parents? You see what I mean? So Daniel's kind of a business partner of theirs, maybe without, maybe covertly. And maybe I came to this in the video, so then I had to think about it later. Maybe he has something to do with the $33.8 billion contracts that they have spread out over that 10-year period from 2020 until 2030. Maybe Daniel has been working with them covertly. Maybe. It's a question. And if they are gaining $33.8 billion of funding that they get to work with, and even if they aren't profiting all that money, when you've got coffers that big, it's easy to borrow the money to invest and basically flip and then put the money back in with no one being the wiser. That's what happens with government contracts often. Very, very often. Rarely do people ever get busted for it because they know how to play that shell game. So let's just say that that was a thing, that was going on. And then maybe he felt like he needed to get more of a cut because, hey, he was responsible for them getting close to $34 billion worth of government contracts. So where's his 1% or 0.1%? That would be a lot of money, right? Where's his kickback? And maybe Kiely knew something about this business. Maybe he had asked for payment that they didn't want to give him. I'm more and more that is extremely likely. Daniel and Grandpa don't believe accident. Oh, really, CB? What do they believe? Do they believe that she is deceased on purpose, that somebody did that to her? Because honestly, I'm not even convinced that she's deceased. CB, then why are they not demanding answers? And why are they going after Upchurch? I mean, that whole thing was weird. I think that's the reason the lawsuit against Upchurch. He has money and it could expose some stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, Upchurch called the whole thing fake, basically. I mean, of course, he called Kiely fake too. And then I think he took that back. I mean, a lot of people were upset with him over that. And of course, that's what they're suing him for. But if he was calling a spade, I don't get it. I don't get it. I know Grandpa wants to see underwater video from AWP. Yeah. Yeah. You think they are suing Upchurch to get answers for Kiely? I would like to think that, but I don't personally believe that that's what's going on. We all want to see that video. Oh, do we? I don't know. Kiely's body appears fake or wrong. You mean in the underwater video or in the autopsy? Because there's absolutely zero reason for them to not have authenticated legitimately that that was her by DNA, by dental, by family. I mean, that would be a hard thing to do, but there are many family members who would want to do that because they don't want there to be a mistake. They want to know that this is their person. So, and to not do the DNA, but to not, I mean, just going back to the early investigation, to not have grilled the mother and all of the people around Kiely and interrogated them, because that's what you do. You interrogate people until you get all the information that you think you can possibly get. And usually you interrogate all these people simultaneously so that they don't have an opportunity to compare notes and cook up a story together. So they try to get suspects or persons of interest all in interviews and as quickly as possible so that they can't talk. And so the whole thing with Sammy, have her teen to teen talks and law enforcement allowing her to do that. Of course, if her parents are in charge of all of the money coming into Truckee that they depend on, of course they're going to allow her to do that. That is that's always been abundantly clear, but thanks to Shan for making it even more abundantly clearer by coming across that $33.8 billion. I mean, that blew me out of the water. That explains everything. It's possible, Bex, because they know Upchurch is stubborn to drag it out and could drag in some other players like Xana and TD being named on there, and Milo and Red Flag Ronnie. Yeah. Body does not appear to be Kiely's body. Organ size, etc. Exactly. And the organs, I mean, the weights on those organs were probably guesses. Remember, they were all in round numbers. The brain was 1,000 exactly. Everything was in tens. Like, that was the weirdest. Absolutely the weirdest. But then to not even identify the appliance that she had put in her arm from the broken arm. And do we even know how she broke her arm? I don't think that the timing is right, but we know that Tony did hard time, not Dodge, the other one, Neiman. He did hard time for corporal injury in domestic violence. Could it have been Kiely? I don't think that the timing is right. I think that that was from before he hooked up with Lindsay, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody else knows. I remember digging for that legal information a couple years back, and I remember finding it, but it wasn't real specific. The information was not clear to me of who, what, where, when. I think it was Kiely, but they lied about some things in some of the report. Yeah, the height was 3-4 inches off. But again, the report was just atrocious with the whiteout, with the blue ink, with only Lindsay's name on it and not her biological father, not her grandfather. Just like they're hiding everything else. Yeah. It's It's so concerning to me. And, honestly, I felt so overwhelmed with this whole FBI thing over the weekend. I was just like, I'm just going to back off this case and see what other people do with it and lay low for a while because it's so frustrating. But then I'm just like, I'm just going to do what I do. I'm just going to do my thing. Totally botched. Yeah. And this is my third video today, you guys. I did a yoga video this morning in this heat. And then I did an instructions only video that's uploading right now. And then this live. So it's been a very productive YouTube day because I didn't do any of it over the weekend. And I really wanted to, but there was so much going on. And until I saw that Jewels of All Trades video, honestly, like I really appreciated Ninja's too that she did. But until I saw Jewels of All Trades, I think I just was so overwhelmed with confusion about the whole thing. So, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I was going to look up one of these other cases. Let me Google really quickly. And if you guys want to know who I'm Googling the kidnapping of J.C. Dugard. Okay, I'm going to read from Wikipedia. On June 10th, 1991, J.C. Lee Dugard, an 11-year-old girl, was abducted from a street while walking to a school bus stop in Myers, California. Searches began immediately after Dugard's disappearance, but no reliable leads were generated, even though several people witnessed the kidnapping. Dugard remained missing for over 18 years until 2009, when a convicted SO, Philip Garrido, visited the campus of the University of California, Berkeley. We all remember this, right? Accompanied by two adolescent girls who were discovered to be the biological daughters of Garrido and Dugard on August 24th and 25th of that year. The unusual behavior of the trio sparked an investigation that led Garrido's parole officer, Edward Santos Jr., to order Garrido to take the two girls to a parole office in Concord, California on August 26. Garrido was accompanied by a woman who was eventually identified as Dugard. So she was confined for those 18 years, was it? Yeah, 18 years at an address in Antioch, California. So that's kind of like northeast slightly of Berkeley in the San Francisco Bay. And we all know that she was kept kind of in a hut in the backyard, right? And didn't he have like another woman that he lived in the main house with? Unbelievable. So, Nancy Garrido. He pled guilty, and he's got life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. And Nancy has 36 years to life in prison. Litigation against the state of California settled for $20 million. Lawsuit against the federal government of the United States was dismissed. I'm going to keep reading a little bit more, but I want to keep up with you guys too. Hello. Sammy has some sort of knowledge or involvement. Yeah, 100%. She's 100% involved. Ford Music Studio, she may still be alive, but I really think she would be worse off. Yeah. This happens to many young girls, and we need to protect them. Power and money is why this stuff goes on. At 100%, Ford Music Studio. Thanks for stepping in. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Did I highlight that one? Let's see. It's absolutely truth right there. Um, so I want to keep reading this Wikipedia, but I also want to not let you guys run ahead of me. Not sure what to believe anymore about it. So many lying and distractions. And hello, Melissa, watching the world says, agree for it. Our children need better protection. Right. And trafficking is common, unfortunately. It's absolutely common. So Garrido and his wife Nancy were arrested after Dugard's reappearance on April 28th, 2011. They pled guilty to kidnapping and raping. Investigators revealed that Dugard had been kept in concealed tents, sheds, and lean-tos in an area behind the Garrido's house at 1554 Walnut Avenue in Antioch, California, where Philip repeatedly violated Dugard during the first 6 years of her captivity. During her confinement, Dugard gave birth to 2 daughters. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of the age that she would have been, since she was 11 when she was abducted. So during the first 6 years, by the time she was 17, she had 2 kids. Holy Caboli. During her confinement, Dugard gave birth to 2 daughters who were aged 11 and 15 at the time of Dugard's reappearance. On June 2nd, 2011, Garrido was sentenced to 431 years to life imprisonment. His wife, Nancy, was sentenced to 36 years to life. Garrido is a person of interest in at least one other missing persons case in the San Francisco Bay Area. Let's see. I will say a way of survival for many Hondurans and Guatemalans who have come into this country under the radar. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who are being trafficked, who know they're being trafficked, who are too afraid to escape being trafficked because then they'd get put into ICE and deported. Philip was schizo. He went to the doctor and got on better meds, so he got better with JC Dugard, started letting her out to do some kind of business. Wow. I want your contact because a great job in Truckee may be coming up. I want to tell you what to do, okay? So Melissa's asking CB, if you guys want to connect, if you don't have a way to connect, you can both email me at justiceatooz@gmail.com, and then I can forward your emails to each other if you want. That's just one way to do it. Hello to everyone joining. Don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, please. I love not prejudice. It is just a fact. Yeah. So go ahead and email me your emails, and then I'll be shooting each other's emails. So if you just say, hi, this is Melissa. Hi, this is CB. And then I'll forward each one to each of you so that you guys will have each other's emails without putting them here or anything like that. So yeah, CB, if you want to type or Bex, if you want to type my email in there, that would be great. You know what it is, justiceatooz@gmail.com. And anybody's free to email me anytime, of course. Let's see. As Garrido had been on parole for a 1976 violation at the time of her kidnapping, Dugard sued the state of California, which had taken over his parole supervision from the federal government in 1999 on account of the numerous lapses by law enforcement that contributed to her continued captivity and violations. Oh, how awful. How awful. Like, talk about slipping between the cracks. In 2010, the state of California awarded the Dugard family $20 million. Dugard also sued the federal government on similar grounds pertaining to Garrido's time as a federal parolee, But in a 2-1 ruling, the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals dismissed that suit because Garrido had not victimized her at the time he was placed under the supervision of the federal parole system. That as a result of this, there is no way to anticipate she would become his victim. So what if there was no way to anticipate that she would become his victim? You could definitely anticipate that somebody would become his victim. And the fact that one of them ruled for it tells you that it was justified. But yeah, those types of courts of appeals are pretty much a joke. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. That's disgusting. In 2011, Dugard wrote an autobiography titled A Stolen Life, a Memoir. Her second book, Freedom, My Book of Verse, was published in 2016. Wow, I want to read her books. Has anybody read her books? That is wild. Oh, that's so frustrating to me with the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Those MFs. To say that there's no way to anticipate she would become his victim. Of course, you wouldn't know she was going to, but you could pretty much, without a crystal ball, recognize that somebody was very likely to. That is just sick. Those scumbags. Absolutely. Okay, CB's driving. Thank you, Bex. Awesome. JusticeA2Z@gmail.com. Yeah, that's weird that it's not showing up as a hyperlink, but because it doesn't matter if it's caps or not, and you got it all correct. So I would think it would be a hyperlink, but that's all right. It is what it is. I've been watching you for a long time. Oh, Ford Music Studio. That's really sweet. Thank you. I have been at this for a long time, almost 2 years to the date coming up on my 2-year anniversary. And I have just been ever so grateful for everybody that watches my channel. I'm ever so grateful to have a channel, and I just appreciate all of the support. So thanks very, very much. And yeah, I've like morphed my channel into yoga, true crime, jewelry, home decor, not music. I mean, I could take my music out and put that on its own channel. I was thinking I could call it I'm Not Kiely Rodni. I'm no Kiely Rodni. That's what I was thinking. Because my goodness, that woman has such, I said has like in present tense. Let's hope. She had such an incredible voice and such an incredible talent. So we know for sure that there would be a lot of videos and recordings of her music, not just the ones that we've seen. But I am so suspicious of the fact that that information is missing from the interwebs. The footage of any information of where her car was that day or days leading up to that, August 5th, August 6th. But then in this report, it says that her car was last seen in Las Vegas on August 10th, you guys. Like with that license plate, allegedly. That's what it said in the report that has been circulating. So Mark made comments that when he went to the site to look up the report, that what he normally does is he searches through big documents like that for specific things, and that it was unsearchable. And so then he was trying to download it, and you couldn't download it. So was it Ninja who screenshot every single page so that she could do whatever she wanted with them? I think it was Ninja that did that. I thought that was brilliant. And yeah, why it's not being treated like a regular document makes me wonder if this is some fluky site set up by professionals, like how over there in the Micah Miller case, you've got the attorney that's got a specialization in artificial intelligence. I mean, we know Zanime has a lot of specializations in damage control and government secrecy. And we know that there were a lot of people that worked very hard on the fire cam footage to make that look like it was something that it wasn't. So I really feel like this FBI files might be a repeat of something like that. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's authentic. But I'm not going to bet my money on that. I'm going to bet my money on that there's some effery going on because that's all this case has been. Okay, CB, Melissa says, I work there. It's $25 per hour. But is it in Truckee? Like, I would be so uninterested in working in Truckee personally, but that's just me. I don't feel bad for Nancy Garrido. She got with a schizophrenic and she was a correctional officer. Oh, I did not know she was a correctional officer, Melissa. That's super disgusting. I say off with her head. Ew, gross. I'm sorry, stuck on Kiely and the mess they called an investigation. Who holds law enforcement responsible for the outcome or lack of? Yeah. So I was reading about JC Dugard because I'm just saying that anything's possible. Anything is possible, that somebody can be held captive for that long. And this guy, this dirtbag, and his partner in crime, I mean, she had knowledge of the system from being a correctional officer. He had knowledge of the system from being a criminal. But when you have knowledge of the system, it makes it a lot easier to manipulate. And I have my eyes on the Stanio twins, Christopher Stanio and Matthew Stanio. Deputy Stanio for Nevada County, that's Christopher, Trinity Backus's stepdad, and then his identical twin, Matthew Stanio, California State Highway Patrol trooper. My spidey senses tell me that there's something going on there. And then the whole thing with dirtbag from Placer County, Wayne Wu, disgusting, absolutely disgusting. So, and then Kate Cunio's uncle, David Cunio, who's not only a deputy long-term for Sacramento County, but he's now a sergeant for Sacramento County. Yes, Melissa read her book. It's excellent. Read it all in one sitting. Wow. Yeah, that's remarkable. I'm going to have to read that. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, anyone recall Brown stating that in any of those pressers or Scami while she was running the show? Stating that they were trying to sweat their persons of interest. And the last photo of Kiely, not Kiely. In one of Mark's last videos, he did a really good job of digging up a photograph of Scami that is taken from the same angle as the photo of what I think is not Kiely. And it's got all the same facial features and markers. It's pretty outstanding. He did a great job with that. I'll see if I can't make the thumbnail for this video out of that so you guys can know what I'm talking about, since I'm so behind the times with my technological know-how. It's like a prerequisite in California to be willing to break the law to be a law officer. Totally watching the world. I get that. I think that can be said for a lot of places, unfortunately. I've seen a lot of that. And I've seen enough that makes me know that a lot of people in law enforcement should be behind bars. And I don't know percentage wise, like I would like to think that it's only like 5%, but that's a lot. And it's probably more like 10%. It's probably at least 1 out of 10 are crooked, dirty. And if they're crooked and dirty, they're crooked and dirty. And then they try usually to hide behind incompetence. Instead of saying, yeah, you got me, I'm crooked and dirty, they just claim that they're utter buffoons and that they don't know what the F they're doing, that they don't know how to do their jobs, that they're not trained right, that they forgot everything they knew or what have you. It's ridiculous. Sammy Not Sammy Pick looks rehearsed, Melissa. Oh, yeah, I suspect orchestrated by law enforcement. Huh. Yeah, why would they put a photo of her with 2 cell phones, one in each pocket? Kind of reminds me of J.P. Miller with his 2 cell phones in his pockets. And the wrong shoes. She's got like white kind of Birkenstock sandals on. And they're trying to say that that's Kiely, who was wearing like Converse sneakers. Yeah. Have we seen Scami in white Birkenstock sandals in all of the other footage? I'm wondering now. I bet she is wearing those white sandals in some of the other video and photographs. Law enforcement is not very smart. I'd have to agree with that, Melissa. I think they were under time constraints when trying to come up with that BS. Well, it's just such effery. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. But it kind of reminds me of some of what was going on in the Olympics with ray gun. Going back to that whole charade doesn't just make ray gun look bad. It shows that there's corruption within the Olympics. Because it wasn't just Australia that got her in. The Olympics allowed for that. And so now the Olympics has pretty much scrubbed everything off the internet of any of her performances and her dance competitions with some of the best dancers like Nika from Ukraine. She was the one who won the silver. And Sissy from France, who was just like 15 years old. She was incredible. And then Logistics from California, who is now living in Florida. Like all 3 of them had to do dance competitions against this loser. And they were so professional. They did such a good job of basically keeping a straight face and pretending as if she were a real Olympic contender. They deserve some kind of special award for that, in my opinion. Like that shows their commitment to their craft and just not allowing the distraction, because there's so much crap and distractions. But I really wanted to see those performances again, the dance fights with Logistics and with Sissy and with Nika, and you can't see them. They're nowhere to be found. And a lot of content creators have had their channels struck just for having little clips of any of it. It's insane. It's crazy how the corruption. So, they're showing that they're corrupt, in my opinion, by scrubbing it. I mean, obviously they were corrupt for it to have happened, but then scrubbing it is just more evidence of deeper corruption. It's like a deep state. I hate that. I hate that. Let's see. It's in Truckee, but very easy with a ton of perks. Yeah, but if you're targeted, that ain't easy, and that's not a perk. But I'll stay out of it. I'll stay out of it. Yeah, because you guys know your stuff. So and yeah, I mean, a good job is hard to come by. Very hard to come by. And when you have a good job, you want to keep that job. You want to when you have good people that you work with, you really, that's a treasure. That's not easy to come by. It's like a prerequisite in California to be okay. I already read that one. Sammy not Sammy picture looks rehearsed. I read that one. Law enforcement not very smart, and I read that one. That was I just didn't mark them, so I confused myself. That's why it's good to mark them. Yeah, absolutely. Squirrels present, listening in, love and blessings to all. So I am so excited for your next live, Shan. Again, I don't ever want to put pressure on you. You know that I'm just there to support, whether you're able to do it or not. I know you do so much, and you got to take care of yourself and take care of all those vegetables, right? So yeah, you've probably watched the Jewels of All Trade breakdown of the FBI files, Shan. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So, um, I'm very grateful for hers. I'm very grateful for Ninja's. I'm grateful for Mark. I'm grateful for Ara's, although I didn't get to see all of it, and she's removed it um, from her page, but maybe she'll put it back up. She does that a lot. I don't know what, um, she's got her reasons. So yeah, I hope you're starting to feel better too. I know you were under the weather a few days ago. I made a community post for people to watch it. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, we are just getting close to an hour, and I am wanting to wrap up. I love you guys. I didn't have a lot to say about the whole thing other than everything that I've said is just mind-boggling. It's just so much crap, and I hope this isn't just more crap. But I suspect that it is. I really do. I suspect that there's all kinds of crookedness going on with that. There's a lot of interesting stuff on those pages, and I'll put a link to the Jewels of All Trades that I'm kind of reacting to with this video. I'll also put the links to Ninja and Mark, and I wish I could put the link to Ara, but I can't. So I'll put a link to her channel, and I'll put a link to Shan's channel. But yeah, what else do I want to say before we wrap up? Oh, Brandy, nice to see you. Yeah, I know. I caught like the last second of Mark's live that he wrapped up like an hour ago, right before I came on. So yeah, I didn't even get a chance to say hi in the chat, and I apologize. But yeah, I just want to keep on keeping on. Video link, awesome. Is that the one for Jules right there? That's awesome. Thank you, Shan. You're so good at that. Yeah. We need truth for Kiely. So this is what I want to say. I'm glad I didn't wrap it up yet. The thing that I'm most excited about for this whole thing is that a very big channel like Jewels of All Trades is talking about Kiely again. And hopefully Christina Randall will get on it again. And who else? A lot of these bigger channels. I mean, I'm not a fan of a lot of the bigger channels. You guys have probably figured that out. Honestly, I think a lot of them are sellouts. That's just me. That's just my humble opinion. But I understand, if they're out here to make money, then they're going to do whatever it takes to make the money. Who cares about ethics and justice and truth, right? I mean, it's all about the almighty dollar, right? No, absolutely not. I'm very excited for the bigger channels that have a wider reach, a farther reach for them to be talking about Kiely again, and maybe even Crime Circus. I think Drip Drop has a great perspective. I hope that he picks it up. I know our dear friend over at Watsy Obsession, she very well might. I'll put a bug in her ear, try to get her to do that. And maybe even Paula Plunder will cover it again now with this FBI crap, as I want to call it. Because I have a feeling that it's not legit. What do you think, Shan? Do you think it's legit? I mean, I know that Jules did a thing in her video where she tried to show that it was legit as far as she could tell. So she was suspicious too. Like she took out parts of what she used to search for it and to prove that it went to the FBI vault. And I really appreciated her doing that, but I still think that there's some effery with like a fake FBI vault or something. I mean, I know I have gone to the vault, you know, they sent me information about that with the Gabby Petito case. So I know that that's real. I know that that is where you find the FBI files, but I think that there could easily be some type of alternative fake vault too. And Shan, you would be probably a really good person to know anything about that. Based on where it's posted and the info in it being able, hold on. Let's see. Based on where it's posted and the info in it being able to be matched with what we've documented, I think it's legit. However, the heavily redacted shit raised my squirrel tail. So if I'm accurate in watching Jules's video, so at the beginning there's 100 pages that are redacted, and she lists down, she like literally like reads every number of every page that was removed. We're like NK from the Watts case, so I removed it. And then I think it's about 100 pages, but I'm not sure how many pages she reads through. She reads through all of it in her video, but then she comes to another section where there's another 35 pages that was redacted. So 135 redacted pages. That's a lot of information. And why are they releasing what they're releasing and then not that? Like, and again, where the F is that freaking California State Highway Patrol report? That thing is never going to happen. She did a phenomenal job on it. She absolutely did. I know I could have just kissed her for that. Yeah, let's see. I hope she's not offended by that gesture of kindness. It seems 135 is missing. I have been saying that. I even asked Sleuthy her opinion because she posted on X at the time of release, but she didn't respond. And see, I'm not on any of these other sites. So yeah, I miss all of that. And maybe I'll branch out, but maybe not. You know, I like to just stay on the straight and narrow, try to keep things simple because of my own squirrel issues, right? So, but yeah, I'd be very curious about Sleuthy's opinion of it and what it is that she posted on X. Maybe she'll do something on YouTube with it. I don't know. But yeah, I would imagine that a lot more content creators will be covering it, and that maybe, just maybe, a lot more people will open their minds to the very real probability that this is no car accident, period. I might not be active as much on YouTube, but even in poor health, I try to stay active on X because freedom of speech. Yes. Yeah. I get ya. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, to quote Janis Joplin. Okay, I am going to sign off, you guys, because I expire in 38 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. It is funny how I have this internal clock that pretty much I go for about an hour. Anyway, I'm going to wish you all a lovely night. Drink your water, eat your veggies. Check out my new yoga video if you're interested. You know, I keep working on just the simplest things like the camera angle to be able to get all of the things in the frame and to not have any like rude angles when I'm doing some of those stretches. I try to be careful. So yeah, the video that I did today, I hope, fingers crossed, I haven't had a chance to review it, but I did already post it. So I'm going to review it after I wrap up. And then I also did a new recording of the instructions because there's some things that have changed. So tomorrow will be my first video with the new instructions. It's been like a month where I've been doing the routine to the same instructions, and I've been tweaking it, making adjustments in it without changing the verbal cues, because that's just a whole nother process. It's kind of hard to explain. But rude angles, that's the entertainment value. And yeah, I'm sure some people watch it for the rude angles. So I'm like, I try not to worry about them because yeah, it's yoga. But I also try to like keep it down to a dull roar to minimize, because I don't want that out there, and I don't want the people that are watching for that, and I don't want the distraction. So yeah, I try to like look at the camera so I can see what's in it and move around accordingly, since I don't have like a camera person, which is what I thought I would need to do. But, you know, I've got this great yoga studio space that is like a classroom. And in the video that I did today, you can really see the whole classroom, because for the most part, I've been like sectioning it off and just using a smaller portion of it. But then I thought it might be easier if I have a really large space. So I'm working with that. And don't try to read my name. I've missed you. You're hilarious. Sweet dreams. Oh, you're so nice. I want to read it anyway. Don't be hating. Yes, you're so cute. Thank you. So, buenos noches, everybody. Take really good care of yourself. Let's all watch Jewels of All Trades video. If you haven't watched it yet, you're going to love it. Like, it is freaking amazing. It's a triple purple heart, Bex, for sure. And I'm going to try to be on live with you every day this week that I can be, fingers crossed. And just keep going with the flow. There's also a lot to be said about the Micah Miller case, but I'm not going to talk about that tonight. And, you know, I'm still really upset about Taylor Casey. Are you guys upset with me about Taylor Casey? There's no new information on that. And I did a yoga workshop recently, and I thought about her during the workshop, and I thought, my goodness, the people that were doing that yoga retreat that she was one of 13 students in, they would have known immediately, they would have noticed immediately that she wasn't there. And by the end of the first hour, people should have been looking for her. And when they couldn't find her, they should have been on high alert. So it makes me think that that yoga retreat is guilty AF. That's my new conclusion. Okay. Peace out, you guys. Love and light. Take really good care, and see you soon. Eat your protein, eat your veggies, and fresh air and sunshine. You know the rest. Take it easy.